You're listening to the preacher's side chick murder trial of Latoshia Daniels from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.
How did you go there?
I was gonna drive in my car. It's from my home. It would have been straight down 440.
Is that an interstate?
Yes.
What happened while you were driving to Johnson Park?
As I was driving, I saw the Memphis exit, and so then I was like, "Go talk to him, Tasha. Just go let him see you. Go see why." And that's what I did. I just drove to work and see him face to face and hope that I can get something from him besides the fact that he broke up with me with a disappearing text. And as I was driving, he did text me, and as he was telling me that he still loved me. So I was trying to just figure out what was going on.
What did you do after you saw the Memphis exit?
I took it and I drove to Memphis.
Where did you go?
I went down to where I knew he would possibly be, which was a lounge. I guess it's in the downtown Memphis area called The Pocket. At the time, I think it was a fairly new lounge that he, when he got employment at Mississippi Boulevard, one of the members there had told him about.
Did you go to The Pocket because Brodes told you he goes to The Pocket on Thursdays?
Yes.
Do you remember what time you arrived?
I don't. I just know it was dark, and I know that I circled around for approximately 30 minutes trying to find a parking spot because I didn't know that you couldn't park on the street. That everything down there was paid.
Just to back up for a second, when you went to the gun store to buy the gun to kill yourself, what did you take with you?
Just my license and my debit card.
Where was your purse?
I guess I had left it at home.
Did you bring just necessities with you to the gun store?
Yes.
And you left the gun store right after you finished purchasing the gun, right?
Yes.
How did you select the gun?
I went with what was the cheapest that was on. They have a wall that has all the guns, the names, and the prices, and I just chose the cheapest one.
How did you select ammunition?
Whatever the guy told me to get, I got it. Because I was about to walk out the store till he was like, do you need ammunition? I was like, oh yeah. And so he told me whatever he recommended, I was like, yes.
And did you see on the video where he was showing you different types of ammunition?
Yes.
Is that what he was saying?
Right. And I told you couldn't hear, but I was like, I don't know. Just whatever you tell me.
When you left the gun store, what did you do with the gun?
I think it was still in the bag. I went home because I did wanted to leave my son something. So I had stopped at the ATM and got out whatever money I could get. And so when I got home, I put that in his room. And then I changed clothes and I dumped some bullets out on the bed and just grabbed a handful of them and took the gun and left the house.
What did you do with the handful of bullets in the gun?
Once I got in my car, because I was trying to hurry up and leave because I didn't want him to come home while I was there, I loaded the gun in my car. And once whatever was left over, I put everything into my coat pocket that was sitting in the passenger seat.
Now, when you parked downtown, where did you go?
I started walking in the direction in which I knew the lounge was. And once I got on the street, I started walking up the street and I actually saw Brodes coming out of the lounge and I walked past him.
Were there any rules in your relationship regarding how to behave when you saw him in public?
Yes, I was not to approach him because I never knew who he may have in his company. So I was not to approach him, but if he acknowledged me, then I could have, talk to him.
Did you come within his sight?
Yes.
Did he acknowledge you?
Yes.
You actually walked right.
I walked past him, and so he said, "So you're just gonna walk past me and not say anything?"
At that point in time, did y'all engage in a conversation?
Yes.
After you talked with Brodes, what did y'all figure out?
Well, we decided that because his thing was I still wasn't wanted to be on board with him and this non-monogamy and have been able to see other women. So we came to I told him, well, we still haven't told Tab. You've always said something about telling Tab, so we haven't told Tabitha. And he said, okay, we'll tell Tabitha. He told me to go to the apartment and just talk to her about tenants until he got there, and that once he was there, we would tell her. He had to go to his boss house to drop off something. And so he gave me a backstory as to what to tell her if she asked me while I was in town, and we left. But before leaving, we came to the resolve that once we told Tabitha about the relationship, we had a trip that was planned to go. We was going to Kentucky. If she said yes, then that would be a new start, a fresh start. But if she said no, then that would be the trip that we would end.
Did Brodes indicate to you that he was going to tell Tabitha while y'all were at the apartment
Yes.
about your relationship?
Yes.
And what would have happened, or would you have been allowed to tell Tabitha without his okay?
I didn't know.
What would you have been able to continue a relationship with Brodes if you had done that?
No.
So I want to talk to you then about when you left downtown, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go?
I put in the address that he had given me, and so that address did say Collierville. I didn't know how far away it was or anything. I just placed it in the GPS.
Do you remember what time you arrived at the apartment?
I know it was late. I just remember when we were there and we were talking, I remember the news coming on.
Probably around 9 o'clock?
Yes.
So you left Little Rock, Arkansas at approximately 5 o'clock, right? And drove to downtown Memphis, right?
Yes. Yes.
That takes about 2.5 hours?
Yes.
How long would you say that you were talking with Brodes?
We talked for a while because I remember the valet pulling the car up a ways and getting out, and just because he was sitting in there waiting on him and we never did, so he just pulled it up and we continued to talk.
So then you left downtown, it was dark,
Yes.
drove to Collierville.
Yes.
What did you do when you arrived at the apartment?
I circled around because I couldn't, it was dark and I really couldn't see like numbers or anything. So I circled around, and then I guess eventually I found the building number, and I parked and found my way to their apartment according to the address.
If I may just have one moment, Your Honor. This is part of Exhibit 12. Latasha, is that your car?
Yes.
Is this also a photograph of your vehicle?
Yes.
Which vehicle is yours in that picture?
The silver one?
This one?
Yes.
While you were sitting in your car, did you call Brodes?
I did. And I shared with him that I was a little nervous and could we just go somewhere and talk? And he said, no, we're going, you wanted to talk to Tabitha, we're going to talk to her.
Did he answer every time that you called him?
I didn't call him a lot, but I did that night.
Before you walked inside, was there a time that you called him and he didn't answer?
No,
Okay, not that you recall?
not the right call.
After you had talked to him and he said, no, we're going to do this, what did you do?
I went to the apartment and knocked on the door.
Were you wearing your coat?
Yes.
When did you put on your coat?
When I got out of the car to go to find him at the lounge.
Is that when you were walking around downtown at night by yourself?
Yes.
Did you ever take your coat off after leaving downtown?
No.
When you left downtown, how would you describe your feelings?
I was a little hopeful. I was like, okay, maybe, we can get some resolve. We can get back to normal. And so that's what I was focused on.
And when he insisted on telling Tabitha, did you get even more hope?
Yes.
So what did you do? Did you get out of your car?
Yes, I got out of my car.
Were you still wearing your jacket?
Yes.
Did it register to you that you had a gun in your pocket?
It did not.
Did you go to the apartment?
I did.
What did you do when you got to the door?
I knocked on the door. And I can't remember, but I ended up bending down. And that's when she said, I'm not going to open the door for someone I don't see. And so I knocked again. And that's when she was like, Tasha, is that you?
What do you mean you bent down?
I don't know if I couldn't remember if it was time or sure or something. I just remember bending down, which is why she didn't see me when I knocked the first time.
You just don't remember?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Who answered the door?
Tabitha.
What did she do when she answered the door?
She once she opened it, she embraced me and said hello and welcomed me in.
Did you go inside?
I did.
Where did you go when you went inside?
She positioned for me to toward the couch, and she sat on one end and I sat on the other.
And that would be Your Honor, if I may put this is part of the cumulative exhibit. Is this the couch that you're referring to?
Yes.
And you were seated on this side?
I was.
And Tabitha was seated on this side?
Yes.
Did you talk to Tabitha?
Yes, we talked. We talked about tennis, but right before we kind of got into the tennis talk, she had made a phone call to Brodes.
And what did she say to him?
She told him, she asked how long it was going to be before he got there. And then she told him she had a surprise for him.
When Tabitha let you into the apartment, did she close the door behind you?
Yes.
You and Tabitha were sitting alone in the apartment with a closed door, right?
Yes.
Would anybody outside of the apartment have been able to see in through that door?
No.
How long did you sit talking with Tabitha?
Again, I know the news ended up coming on, so maybe 15 minutes or so.
At any point, did you pull your gun out and threaten Tabitha?
No.
At any point, did you verbally threaten Tabitha?
No.
At any point, were you trying to hurt Tabitha?
Not at all.
Were you happy to be there about to have this conversation with Tabitha?
Yes.
Was Brodes there yet?
No.
Now I want to talk to you about when Brodes Perry arrived, okay?
Okay.
When he walked in the door, could you see him?
Yes.
Can you describe his demeanor when he saw you?
When he came in, he didn't look surprised or anything, which is what I thought he would do since he knew I was going to be there. But he was just like, I think Tab was like, surprise. And he was like, this not a surprise. I thought you had some keto cookies for me. And from there, he was like, what are you doing here? And then I went with the story again that I was in town for a conference. And we just kind of started engaging in small talk. He came and sat beside me. And then after about a minute or so, was like, would you like a pour?
What is a pour?
A pour is some bourbon.
Did you accept the pour of bourbon?
I did.
Where was Brodes seated?
He was approximately a foot or two from me.
I'm putting back up from the cumulative exhibit.
That blue chair?
This blue chair right
Yes.
here? And you were seated here?
Yes.
And Tabitha was still seated here?
Yes.
After you accepted the pour of bourbon from him, did he make any comments about you drinking?
He came back and sat down, and as we were talking, he would make references to me drinking and would say, well, I think you're going to have to stay the night. So I'm thinking, okay, well, this is about to get into this conversation. But he never would give me eye contact. But he would continue to make, like, we have to clean out the bed in there because it has a lot of clothes on it. And, but I'm still looking at him to get, like, to see where you going with this. But he never did lead into the conversation. He actually started asking me questions like, so where are you staying in Memphis? And I'm like, that wasn't part of what you told me you was going to say. So I don't know Memphis. He knows I didn't know Memphis. And so I didn't know what to say. I finally said an Airbnb. And then Tabitha was like, where? And I was like, downtown. And then that conversation ended. And he continued to say something about me staying the night, but never going into the conversation of what we were supposed to be talking about.
Had you ever been into that apartment before?
No.
On April the 4th, when you were there, what part of the apartment did you go into?
I walked through the front door, which led into a small little hallway and right into their kitchen area.
Okay. And then into the living
And
room?
then into, yes.
Did you go into any bedroom?
No.
Your Honor, this is part of the cumulative exhibit 13. Did you ever go into the guest bedroom?
I did not.
What is all over the bed in the guest bedroom?
Clothes?
Had you seen that?
No.
But those are the clothes Brodes was talking about?
Yes.
When he was talking about clearing off the bed and you sleeping over, did you think that was his jumping off point to talk to Tabitha?
I thought so.
How were you feeling at that point?
Very nervous.
Were you also excited?
I think I was more nervous because I just didn't know which way it was going to go, but hopeful.
At some point, you lost hope.
Yes.
And you said you were going to leave.
Yes.
Why did you decide to leave?
I saw that it wasn't going anywhere. Like I said, he was not giving me eye contact. So I knew, or I felt like he had changed his mind. And I just didn't want to keep sitting there feeling, at that point, stupid.
What happened after you said you were going to leave?
Tabitha got up, he got up, and so she began to tell me about watching for the police, because I had been drinking.
Had you drank a lot?
No, not at all. But she still was just letting me know. And she began to walk toward the door. And I asked him, would he walk me out? He said no. And I said, why not, sir? That's Southern hospitality for you to walk a woman outside when it's dark. Because I wanted to just get him to see, like, what happened. Why didn't you follow through? But he refused to walk me out. So Tabitha opened the door and was walking out. I was still trying to get him to walk me out. And as I reached into my pockets to get my keys, I remember being outside the door, and then the next thing I was standing in their kitchen.
Do you deny that you shot Brodes Perry?
I do not.
Do you deny that you shot Tabitha?
I don't, but I know it wasn't intentional.
Did you mean to shoot Tabitha?
No, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody.
When you went to that apartment that day, did you intend to use your gun on either Brodes or Tabitha?
No.
When you went there, what was your purpose in going there?
Thinking that I was going to get some kind of ending to the relationship.
And what do you mean?
Like, okay, of course, after I got to, talking to him at the lounge, we had a plan. It was either going to be a start or an ending, but it was something that I could see, like I knew it wasn't just a disappearing text, but still, I love you, So I went to the apartment, I guess, for lack of a better word, to get some resolve.
Did you have hope, given that Tabitha was open to the open marriage?
I was nervous about that because, like I said, he had told me she had these rules about not nobody that you know and things like that. So I'm like, she knows me. So I don't know what that was going to be like. I didn't even think about anything beyond that.
As far as Tabitha goes, this is a person that you became friendly with, right?
Correct.
How did you balance that with having an affair with her husband?
It was very hard. She, like, we started off, she had approached me to invite me to lunch. It came out of nowhere, and I didn't know, like, what was really going on, because by this time, Brodes had been talking about us being sister wives. And so when she asked me, I was a little confused because I'm like, okay, has he talked to her about it? But she never said anything about our relationship. Even when we began to play tennis, it was her who initiated it. So it was uncomfortable for me, but we were friendly. And it was hard, but I still did it because I wasn't going to tell her because I love Brodes.
When Brodes told you that he wouldn't walk you outside, he said, Tab will do it. How did that make you feel?
Rejected. Unworthy. Stupid. I was so stupid. And it hurt so bad.
Were you angry or were you hurt?
I was hurt.
Were you thinking clearly when you pulled the trigger?
No.
Were you reacting to that situation?
Yes.
Was that a traumatic situation for you too, in retrospect?
Oh, yes. I hate what happened. I'm so very sorry. I never wanted to hurt anybody. I've spent most of my life helping. I never would intentionally try to hurt anybody.
Did you ever plan to kill Brodes Perry?
Never.
When you drove to Memphis, Were you driving to Memphis to kill Brodes Perry?
No.
Why did you drive to Memphis?
I drove because I just wanted to see him.
Why?
I wanted him to explain why he did that.
Did you hope he would say, we can be together?
Yes,
Did he give you that hope when you went to the apartment?
he did.
Did he yank that hope away?
He did.
Did
As
you,
he often did.
did you break in that moment?
I shattered.
Did you ever intend to hurt Tabitha?
No,
Did you even realize that you had shot her?
no.
That's all I have.
Cross-examination.
Ms. Daniels, I'm going to take you back to April 4th, 2019, at around 4 o'clock. You remember yesterday when we introduced that surveillance footage of you at the gun store, right?
Yes. Yes,
And you know that that was you in the gun store.
that was me.
And you purchased a gun that day.
I did.
And you also purchased ammunition that day.
I did.
And when you went to that gun store, you brought your state-issued ID, correct?
Yes,
And you brought your credit card, correct?
I did.
And once you left with that gun and the ammunition, you didn't go to Jacksonville, did you?
No,
You drove to Memphis,
no. I
You-
drove home.
but you eventually ended up in Memphis, did you not?
That is correct.
And you chose to go see Brodes Perry, correct?
Yes, I chose to go see him.
A man that you chose to be involved with.
When I first encountered Mr. Perry for counseling, I did not choose to be with him. I went to him for direction, not a relationship.
It's a yes or no question. You chose to be involved with him after you met him, did you not?
Yes,
And when you got to Memphis, and after you talked to Mr. Perry, you drove to his apartment, correct?
yes, I drove to his apartment.
And from Sherman, Arkansas to Memphis, it's about a 3-hour drive, right?
According to what has been said, I wasn't counting.
And when you got to that apartment, you talked to Mrs. Perry.
Yes,
And when you got to that apartment, you stayed there and you talked with her for about 20 minutes. Correct?
yes, we talked for about 20 minutes.
And then once Mr. Perry got there, you talked to him.
Yes,
And while they were gracious enough to walk you out of their apartment after an unexpected visit, you got your gun out, didn't you?
it wasn't unexpected for him.
But for Miss Perry, it was.
It was.
And after you exited, you decided to take your gun out, correct?
No,
And after you exited, you shot Mrs. Perry, did you not?
my
Yes or no?
actions resulted in them being shot, yes.
And then you shot Mr. Perry, did you not?
It wasn't a conscious decision, but yes.
But you didn't do it because you lost control. You did it because you thought he deserved it.
No, I love Brodes. I would have never intentionally hurt him. No, ma'am.
You did it because he broke your heart.
No, ma'am.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Were you in a good state of mind that day?
I was not. I was not.
All day?
I was not my healthy self. No.
When you came to Memphis, did you come to Memphis out of anger or out of love?
I came out of love.
Did Brodes expect you to be there when he walked in?
Yes.
Did that visit go the way that you expected it?
It did not.
Did it end the way you expected it to?
It most definitely did not.
Did you go there to hurt anyone?
No, I did not.
Who did you plan to hurt
I
that
wanted
day?
to hurt myself. I wanted to end my own life that day. That's it, and that's all.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
No recross, Your Honor.
You may stay.
You may call your next witness.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. Then call your next witness.
Your Honor, that concludes our proof on behalf of Ms. Daniels. We rest our case.
All right, we have heard the proof in this case. I'm going to excuse you for the day. After hear my speech, we're still not ready to discuss the case, okay? So I'm going to excuse you for the day. Go have dinner, get a good night's rest, and we'll be ready to work in the morning. So I'm going to show you an excuse so that you can leave your notepads and your pens in your chairs.
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, we would like to renew the motion for judgment of acquittal. As to count one, we would submit that there has been no evidence of premeditation, most certainly no evidence of cool and calm reflection and judgment, and ask the court if you let this proceed to the jury that it not proceed past a second degree. And then as to count two, Your Honor, I did some research during the break, and this is an interesting topic. So what we have here is we have one count of first degree versus Brodes Perry, one count of criminal attempt first degree versus Tabitha Perry. State v. Millen addresses the issue where if I, yes, Your Honor, I do. Except my computer shut down while I was talking. Millen v. State is Supreme Court of Tennessee, 988 Southwest 2nd.
Say it again.
988 Southwest 2nd, 164. And what this case dealt with was a person attempting to kill person A and instead killing person B. Person A was fine. What the court said is that in that instance, that should be treated as a felony murder, a murder in the perpetration of an attempted premeditated murder. So, then we move to Kimbrough v. State, which I will have to pull up the site on. Which was decided in the early 90s and said that in Tennessee, criminal attempt felony murder is not an offense. So what we have here is an allegation of attempted premeditated murder, where that person was in fact died, and then an attempted murder during that allegation of an attempted murder during that premeditated murder, which, if Miss Perry had died, would have been a felony murder, except attempted felony murder is not an offense in Tennessee. So unless I think that those two cases together preclude transferred intent for that criminal attempt first when the person that was intended to be shot was. It is a very unique and interesting interplay of the law, and but I do think that we absolutely have no evidence that Ms. Daniels was attempting to even shoot Tabitha Perry, much less kill her. The evidence that Tabitha Archie provided, she told police that she did not even think that Ms. Daniels was trying to shoot her. So, Your Honor, I would submit, again, as to Ms. Tabitha Perry, that it is more appropriately a reckless endangerment. And I'm still working on that site for Kimbrough. And Your Honor, if the court does not hold the criminal attempt to the jury, then the employing a firearm would not apply as well, unless it got down to a criminal attempt to a reckless endangerment. But again, I don't think that the necessary mens rea for criminal attempt first-degree murder has been established, and I don't think that the transferred intent is appropriate in that context.
Right.
That case, as I understand it, probably does not preclude transferred intent, and that's a doctrine that's well established. She was trying to kill somebody else and hit somebody else, and that's transferred intent. It's like, as I said before, it's in the jury charge. There's absolutely proof of premeditation on the first-degree murder, at least taken in a light most favorable to the state. She went to Arkansas, bought a gun, drove 3 hours, showed up at his house and shot and killed him. So again, I think they're jury questions, and ask the court to overrule the motion.
Okay. I'm gonna have to look at those cases. I'll give you a ruling on that in the morning on those last two, because I'm gonna have to read those, and you can give me that cite for Kimbrough v. State. But I can go ahead and rule on the first degree murder. And the standard again is that after viewing the evidence in a light most favorable to the prosecution, any rational trial fact could find beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty of the offense. And based on the court's previous ruling and even hearing the additional proof presented by the defense, it's simply a jury question as to what her state of mind is. And so I think at this point there's enough evidence for this matter to proceed to the trial on the first degree murder charge. And then as far as the criminal attempt first degree murder and the employing a firearm, I need to look at those cases, and I'll give you a ruling in the morning.
That citation on Kimbrough, which is Kimbrough, is 924 Southwest 2nd, 888, Tennessee, 1996.
And can you give me that site again on Millen? It's Millen.
Yes.
And
that is 988
988, okay.
Southwest 2nd, 164, Tennessee, 1999.
Okay. All right, I'll look at those cases and I'll give you a ruling on that in the morning. So I'll send out the instructions. If you could review those and let me know what changes we can have a jury conference in the morning before we charge the jury. But I'm going to show you excuse for the day so we can adjourn for the day.
Real quick, before we adjourn, can we approach real fast?
Yes.
There's more of the Preacher's Side Chick murder trial of Latoshia Daniels coming up. Press subscribe now so you don't miss a moment from the Hidden Killers podcast and True Crime Today.